Hello everybody, welcome to Now You're Cooking. It's demo night and tonight we are making gingerbread houses. And I have my good friends Jennifer and Isaac from the Bath Sweet Shop who brought along some candy and they're going to decorate a house while we're doing some other stuff. And do you want to say anything about the Bath Sweet Shop?
You know what, Louisa, thank you for inviting us. And we packed up our candy and our variety of goodies and walked up Center Street, and we're excited to decorate the house because we've not been able to do that this season because we've been very busy in the shop, thankfully, and we are well stocked. I try to refer to it as like Santa's workshop blew up.
Nice.
In a culinary or confectionery kind of way. So we've got a wide variety of items right now, and people are coming in and shopping baskets and baskets of stuff. So the idea that we had time tonight to come up and spend some time to decorate is a gift.
That
so
is
thank you.
awesome. And Jennifer didn't know she was going to actually get to decorate this house. She's very excited. They're both very excited.
Oh, we're
Are you excited?
Extreme. I'm very excited.
So if you guys, so here's some glue for you. If
Okay.
you guys want to work on that, I'm going to just make some things and then we'll interact a little bit as I do that. Does that sound good?
Sounds great.
Sounds
All right.
perfect.
So the first thing I'm going to do is make some gingerbread. This is a recipe from Sally's Baking Addiction. And it is really, really delicious. So if you have extras, stop talking. If you have extra, make sure you cut it into cookies and eat it. It's really, really delicious. So the first thing I've done here, I don't know if you can see that, Heather, I have brown sugar and butter, room temperature butter, and room temperature brown sugar. And that's all been mixed together. And then I'm going to add some liquid to that. And just give it a good mix just to make sure it looks good. And then I'm adding a tablespoon of water. I'm adding an egg, preferably with no shells. And I have a half a cup of molasses, which we'll pour in here. And if you notice this mixer that I have, this is the Smeg Mixer. And this attachment here comes with one of the mixers that we sell. And what it does is it scrapes the side of the bowl, and we'll go a little slowly here so you can see. It scrapes the side of the bowl as it mixes, so it's really cool, and you don't have to stop it every 2 minutes to scrape the sides down. You still will want to a little bit, but it really makes a big difference there. How's it going over there, guys?
We're doing great. We're doing very well. We've got a pattern. We're developing a rhythm.
Excellent, excellent. And you work well together.
Absolutely.
Isaac, you're in high school.
I am. I'm a senior.
You're a senior?
I know already.
Holy cow, I remember when your mother was pregnant. You know. I think that was when I first met you.
Yep.
Good times. Good times.
17 years ago.
Crazy. So what they're doing is they're using royal icing, and we're going to make some royal icing in a minute, and that is the glue that holds the pieces on, unless you drop them.
More glue, more glue.
And we'll be making a batch of that as well. So I have my liquid in here, my sugar and my butter, and it's all mixing nicely, and I'm going to add my flour very slowly at a slow pace. And so, Isaac, do you work at the store some?
Oh yeah, all the time. Even when I'm not working, I'm working. If you know what I mean.
Very nice. And are you enjoying that?
I absolutely love it.
Do you think that you'll follow in the family footsteps? And
Oh yeah, I mean, right after college, I'm coming right back here, doing the thing full time. No, just kidding. We'll see what happens.
I think he's being sarcastic. An 18, 17-year-old being sarcastic.
I know, it's
Who
so
would have
rare.
thunk it?
Well, that was news to me.
But everyone's so friendly. I mean, it's hard to come into a candy store and be upset about things. So
That's true.
I like the customer service aspect.
Yep. Well, yeah, you're right. If you're in there to buy candy, you're probably in a pretty good mood. Or you're depressed and you just need somebody to talk to.
And no judgment either way.
Right, exactly. All right, I'm just going to add the last of my flour in there. And make sure this is really well mixed. It's going to be a little bit sticky. And what you're going to want to do, which I'm not going to do, but what you're going to want to do is take this out of the bowl as soon as it's done mixing and wrap it in plastic wrap and put it into the fridge. And you want to leave it in the fridge for at least a couple of hours. Couple of days would be ideal. A day, maybe 24 hours would be ideal. Just kind of let it set, let all of the flavors infuse. Like I said, you don't normally, at least I have never eaten a gingerbread house after it's been made, but I love gingerbread, so make sure you use the scraps to make some cookies, some good cookies for yourselves. So that is the dough, and this is what it looks like. So it's kind of sticky, it's a little crumbly. That's going to get wrapped up in plastic wrap and put in the fridge. So there's that. Next, moving right over here, we're going to make some royal icing. And royal icing is the glue that sticks your house together, although we're actually going to make some caramel to stick the house together because it sets much faster. It is, however, super, super hot and dangerous, and you don't want to burn yourself. So if you're having kids put things together, I'd use the royal icing. So what I have here is some confectioner's sugar. I have 3 tablespoons of meringue powder. You can use real egg whites, but you want to make sure if you're using egg whites, do not let there be anything else in it. No water, no egg yolk, no nothing, or it will not work right. So make sure your bowl is nice and dry. Make sure that there are no egg yolk there is no egg yolk in your whites. You can buy egg whites. Make sure you don't get like the breakfast ones that have turmeric and stuff in them. You want just regular straight egg whites. All right, so we're going to start this. And I'm going to add 8 to 10 tablespoons of water. Just let that mix for a minute. And then I'm just going to add a little water. And I'm not going to add it all at once because I don't want this to be too loose and runny. I want it to be a little bit sticky and thick. Oh, the dust tastes like sugar. You can taste it.
Excellent.
A very good year. So if you're using egg whites, you want to mix the egg whites really well. Then you're going to put in a little bit of cream of tartar, which helps to stabilize it. And then you'll add some sugar to it as well. But you want to make sure that your egg whites are really well beaten. With the meringue powder, you don't have to do that. It's just the sugar, water, and meringue powder, and the meringue powder acts as the egg. So I'm just going to add just a little bit more water. I'm not going to be able to pipe this. So it's a fine line. You don't want it too runny, but you don't want it too thick either. Woo, feel the wind. Okay. Now I'm going to put this in, and that's maybe a little bit loose, but it'll be fine. I'm going to turn the stove on under my sugar here. This is to make the caramel. It's just sugar in a pan on over a fairly high heat. So the first thing, I want to put a tip in, and I'm going to be using a coupler. So this is what a coupler looks like. And what we're going to do is put this piece, the big piece, into the bag and all the way down at the end. And then we put our tip over that, and then we put the other piece on and we screw it on. That keeps the tip on there. So if I just put this into the bag, I might be piping away and all of a sudden the tip comes shooting out of the end of the bag, and then I won't be able to use it. So with the coupler, it holds it in place. The other thing is I can just take this tip off and put on another tip if I wanted a star tip or something like that. So that's how a coupler works. And get my sugar there. And then I am just going to put this into my bag. You can, if you have leftover royal icing, you can leave it out. I would put a piece of plastic wrap or something on over the tip so it doesn't dry out too much and because it gets really hard and clumpy. How's it going over there, guys?
It's looking really good.
It looks awesome. I'm really very impressed.
Thank you.
So there we go. We've got glue. If you guys need more glue, there's plenty here.
Oh, well, I think he's eating part of it.
Yeah.
Well, that
we might
happens.
need more.
That is one of the things that happens when you make a gingerbread house. You eat some of the candy. You eat some of the glue.
You just don't ever eat the gingerbread, is what it seems like.
You do eat the gingerbread, though. Not that gingerbread, probably.
Yeah.
And probably not the gingerbread that I'm using on the next house because I burnt it. But the beauty is that the burnt parts are going to be covered up with royal icing and candy, and so you're not going to know that it was burnt. So don't be afraid. If you burn it, don't worry about it. Just carry on as though you meant to do it. That's how I bake. All right, so how long has the candy store been there?
You know, the store itself has been there, I think, the better part of 17 years. And we purchased the store last year in 2020 and opened in July during the pandemic, during the BIW strike. So when I say that out loud, it seems kind of a interesting decision-making process. But honestly, we have had the best time and have never looked back. And the community has been very supportive and attentive. But perhaps they embrace that that free will of making those kind of decisions. But we do take a lot of suggestions from our customers because we make those recommendations very seriously. Because we start with a love of chocolate and candy and then build out from there. And it has been really a learning experience, and certainly doing it with the family has been fun. And you know, Isaac works his shifts, and sometimes I need to weigh him before and after the shift to know how much of our product is. But we do, you know, taste everything that we have, and so we can make those recommendations. And it's interesting because certainly along the way, folks multiple times have asked us if we make things, you know, there, which if this house is testimony, no, we don't make, but we curate. So what we do is connect with the best local regional confectionists. Here in Bath, we're working with several different folks that, Thayer's Treats, Katie Thayer, she was here, and she makes the most amazing, whimsical, sweet baked goods.
Cool.
So we have macarons and lovely sugar cookies and that sort of thing. And we also are partnered with Ship City Sweets and a variety of other people in the area. So we are we are well stocked. It's chocolate.
It's not chocolate.
Well, it's on the inside.
Yes. Nobody's going to notice it because we're going to make it really pretty. Okay, here
Like
comes
this one.
and here comes the caramel, and I want to hear more about the local vendors. So I'm just going to paint that on, and we will. Okay, so one thing I learned watching the Great British Baking Show, is that if you bake your this may not be happening, folks. If you bake your gingerbread and then cut it while it's still warm and soft, it may work better than cutting out your pieces like I have done. And making a big mess of things. We will make this work. Ow, it's hot. Didn't I just say it's
Yes,
hot?
you
Don't
did.
touch
You
it.
did.
It's hot. Didn't
It was
I?
a precautionary note.
I don't.
Yep.
I don't listen to myself, obviously.
Whoops.
It's raining good and plenty.
So this may be a two-person job.
Isaac, you want to step in?
That's also a possibility.
Do you need help?
Yes.
See what I can do. Got a little bit of frosting on my
See
hand.
if you can rescue me. If you can hold
Okay.
those just for a sec. And then I'm going to try to get this one in there without hurting you. If I do. Don't be scared. Don't be
That's
scared.
all
I
right. We
do
signed the
this
waiver.
all
We're
the
all
time.
in.
It smells wonderful.
I just broke the corner off. Okay. All right, that side is good. I think that's going to hold.
Okay. Do you need me to still hold it then?
I don't think so. All right, anybody that's still watching, you're very patient and kind. There, I just broke the little corner off, but we just glued that back on easily, beautifully.
That's the nice thing about that caramel.
What's that?
That's the nice thing about the caramel.
The caramel, yes, it works really well for gluing. This one's a little soft. So when you make these, you're going to want to give, so you want to have your gingerbread in the fridge for a few hours at least, like I said. And then when you bake your gingerbread, ow, I keep burning myself. When you bake your gingerbread, you also want to let it cool. Want to make sure it's really well baked, and then you want to let it cool it's a good idea to let it cool overnight. You don't have to, but it will help, because I can feel one of these pieces is still a little soft, but it's just a gingerbread house. It's not rocket science, and it's not heart surgery or brain surgery, so we're not going to worry about it too much. And this gloppy caramel is going to get covered up. Please tell me why I keep sticking my fingers in it. All right, that is going to stay there, I think. Whew. I think that what we're learning tonight is if you're going to do this, don't do it when you're in a bad mood. Don't do it with people you don't like. And just have fun with it, because it's fun.
I can't believe that's caramel.
Yeah, it's just sugar. There's nothing else in there. And the nice thing is this is going to harden on my pan, but I just going to run hot water and let the hot water sit in it, and it'll, look, I love this. Look, it's got like little strings, like little spider webs. Oops.
Now, will it dry that way? With the little more spindly?
Yeah, unless oops, this is already cooling off a little
lost
bit.
one.
We're going to be finding good and plenties for a long time now.
Something to remember us by.
Okay, look at that. Woohoo!
Woohoo!
So I did want to mention that we are going to be doing a little gingerbread house contest. And we are giving away 2 $25 gift certificates. We're going to have 2, look at that piece of
Art.
that is just, I'm speechless.
Me too.
Yeah. It defies words.
It does. Yeah. It does. So we're going to be giving away 2 $25 gift certificates. The categories will be traditional, so something that's just covered with candy and looks festive and fun and pretty. And then if you want to do something more elaborate, like a church or a boat or a condo or City Hall or something. Heather did, if you look in our window, we have the house that you saw last week that I made, and then there's also a replica of Now You're Cooking done in gingerbread, which Heather did, and it's got customers inside, and it's really fun. So we'll have 2 categories, and the way you enter is either email us at info@acook'semporium.com or post it on Facebook or Instagram. Make sure that you tag us and make sure that it's a public account so that we can see it. If it's not public, then we won't be able to access it and we won't really know that it's there. And also Bright Night is happening this year. We're going to have Bright Night on the 10th, Friday the 10th. And most of the stores are going to be open until 8-ish.
Yes, we will be.
Yep, and we will be open until 8. So if you need to get candy for your gingerbread house, go and see these guys down at the sweet shop.
When does the contest end?
The contest ends on December 23rd. We will be announcing the names. We'll be making eggnog that night, which will be great just before Christmas while you're decking the halls. And we'll announce the winners that night. And if you need candy, these guys are going to have tons of candy. As you can see, they have some really fun options here, little
do have
Santa
we have a
Clauses
series
and
of gummies, and these are the traditional peppermint and spearmint as well as the fruity flavored. These are mint. This is our season of peppermint, so we did choose to decorate the side here in our peppermint nonpareils, and then gummy Santas, and let's not forget the reindeer snacks and little foil people. This was a Christmas tree, but we do have a great selection, and we do actually have a couple of the Prosecco cordials on here too. So not only is it a variety, it's not this messy in the shop.
these are Prosecco?
Yes.
Oh, we want those.
I know, right?
We do. One other thing I wanted to mention is that we have Cadbury, the real British Cadbury here. And we have these awesome little advent calendars, so you can get a little piece of chocolate every day. You open one up every day until Christmas. So we have lots of these on hand. I know it's already the second, but you can have 2 or 3 pieces at once. It's okay. Nobody's going to say anything. So come in and pick those up. What else do we have happening? I think that about does it. And
That's a lot.
if you go into the Bath Sweet Shop, they're going to be taking this home with them and
Put it in a glass
and
case.
put it. It's going to be in
We're
a.
gonna shrine it.
It's going
so
to be
that-
a shrine.
Now, my question is, can something like this, if it were done, we could keep it for a year, or does it really not?
You
It
can
doesn't
keep
become a
it.
family heirloom.
It could become a fair. Although the boys are going to fight over who
Yeah,
gets it.
that's
But
true.
um,
Competition.
yeah, I
you
would
look
just.
you eat it. Yep.
You want to make sure that your gingerbread is really well cooked if you do that, so it doesn't get so it's really dried out and it doesn't get soft and moldy.
Yeah, this was a first chance, like I had mentioned earlier, is that I've never really worked with gingerbread and never thought that it was edible. I mean, before it gets into this shape.
Yeah.
And so it's a great family experience. Once you divide and conquer your roles of who's the squirter
feel-
and who's the decorator.
Yep, I feel really privileged to be a witness to this new DeChant
this
Ensel
yes.
family tradition.
Yes. It's the beginnings of something.
It's the beginnings of something beautiful.
Amen.
So yeah, and so you can also decorate just with the royal icing. You can use it to make icicles or whatever, all kinds of fun things that you can do. And we're really excited to see what everybody comes up with. So don't forget, we're doing the contest starting anytime, ending on the 23rd of December. Bright Night is the 10th. There will be fun things happening downtown on the street, as well as all of the shops, or most of the shops, will be open until 8 o'clock. December 10th. We still have some great sales here. They started as Black Friday, but we're going to continue them through the end of the month as well. Le Creuset and Stobe. We've got some knives from Miyabi and Woodstoth and Zwilling that are also on sale. Great deals there. So come and see us. Bring us your pictures of gingerbread, and we will see you next week for really good chocolate cake with cherries and whipped cream icing, and that's going to be really delicious and decadent as well. And thank you guys so much for joining me tonight.
Thanks for having
pleasure.
us.
Thank you so much.
You
and
are
thank you to
very
Now
welcome.
You're Cooking for all that you guys do for our
Well,
community.
thank you. It's a
And
pleasure.
to be with standing side by side with Louisa is a fangirl moment. So I'm trying to pretend.
All right, guys. Thank you so much. We'll see you next